In this video, I'm going to share with you how I made over 3,000 bucks from just $300, all from a single video. And this was on the OTC market, without any kind of analysis. After watching this video, you'll be able to repeat the same result and earn, say, 5 or even 10 times more than your initial deposit. So get comfortable and let's start watching to see what's in this video and how I managed to increase my deposit tenfold. It's a really simple method that any beginner trader can repeat. Let's get to the video. First, I need to choose the percentage for each trade. I want to trade pretty aggressively, so right now I can afford to open trades at 50%. So, we'll open the first trade at 50%. Let's pick a currency pair. For example, the Australian dollar to Canadian dollar. Let's switch over to the booster bot. We'll select this currency pair, the Australian dollar to Canadian dollar. Choose the trade duration, 1 minute. And now we just wait for the signal. I get a buy signal and right from here, I open a 1 minute buy trade. And next, I'll show you all the nuances that can come up when working with the robot on OTC. By the way, if you didn't know, the OTC market operates on weekends or at night. For some people, that's still daytime, like in America, for example. And accordingly, when the main markets are closed, when the European exchanges are closed, the OTC market turns on and the bot automatically switches to the OTC market. So, to make trading easy for everyone, we made it possible for the bot to work both on regular currency pairs and on the OTC market. And by the way, the OTC analyzes just as well as the regular financial market. We'll discuss what OTC is. We'll also talk about how to set up the bot in this video. And of course, we'll grow the deposit. For now, let's wait and see what this trade brings us. And this trade brings me my first profit, $140. Now 50% is $223. Alright, let's move on to the next currency pair. Now I'm choosing the euro to US dollar currency pair. This is the most predictable and stable currency pair, especially on the OTC market. Maybe we'll even try to open several trades on this pair, but let's see what the bot tells us now. The bot tells us it's a buy signal. Let's see what we've got here. We have several parameters, the signal itself, buy or sell. Then we have entry success rate, meaning the probability that you'll hit a good entry point, and third, the probability of a reversal. So you need to pay close attention to these percentages. And by the way, honestly, I should have skipped this trade right now, since the percentages are high. But still, let's trust the robot, since the entry itself has pretty high percentages. And volatility, that's how much the market is going to make these kinds of moves right now. So with high volatility, we'll really be moving up and down like this. If volatility is low, we might just stay in place or simply drop in one direction or the other. Alright, we've got literally 10 seconds left. Looks like a pretty good trade. Let's watch how it plays out. Yeah, as you can see, I'm taking a profit of $205. Awesome. Now, 50% of my deposit is already $320. So, I've already made plus 50 to my deposit. From this point on, I'm not risking anything anymore. Let's ask the booster bot for another signal on this currency pair. I'm getting another buy signal and right from here, I'm opening a buy trade, but this time for $326. Actually, you need to pay attention to two main factors: the probability of a successful entry into the trade and a reversal. In other words, volatility does affect the outcome of our trade, of course, but not that much. So if you see that volatility is low, you should be cautious. Just think about whether it's worth opening a trade. If volatility is high, then you can confidently trade for 1 minute on the OTC market. Accordingly, the percentage for a successful entry means it's immediately a good entry point. And the probability of a reversal is when the price can suddenly turn around and go the other way. That happens too. So always pay attention to these two parameters. Let's open one more trade on the euro to US dollar currency pair. We get another buy signal and open a buy trade. Look, so basically, our two main parameters are the probability of a successful entry and the probability of a reversal. So if you see that the probability of a reversal is over 40, then, for example, like here with a buy signal, the price might go up and then suddenly reverse downward. So pay attention to this and keep an eye on these parameters. If the volatility is really low, around 0, like 5 or 10, for example, then for a 1 minute trade, I'd think twice about whether to open a position or not. In all other cases, you don't really need to pay attention to this parameter. But as our professional traders recommend, it's still better to pay attention when volatility is high and we're trading on the 1 minute time frame. When volatility is low, it's better to trade on 3 minute or even 5 minute time frames, even on the OTC market. By the way, take a look. This trade is about to close for us, and most likely in profit. We're up 20 points. And sure enough, it brings me another $300 in profit. So, originally I had 300 bucks, and now there's already $950 in my balance. Accordingly, my next trade will be open for $470, so I'm already well in the green. I picked the currency pair Australian dollar, Swiss franc, selected in the booster bot, and set the trade time to 1 minute. By the way, while we're waiting for the signal, I want to remind you that this robot is available to all our partners. So if you're one of our partners, all you need to do is activate it and, accordingly, start getting signals from it. You don't need to download anything, you don't need to buy anything. This is basically a standard tool that's available to all our partners. So if you're not working with us, if you're just watching us, you won't be able to activate this robot. If you've already subscribed to our Telegram channel, if you've gotten in touch with us, then yes, you'll be able to activate this robot and you don't have to pay anything for it. So this is a bonus for all our partners who work and earn with us. That's why, if you want to activate this robot absolutely free, just follow the link in the description and activate it right now. There you'll find all the instructions on how to activate it, how to launch it, and even how to get your first signal. If you have any questions, just write to our support account and the team there will answer you and help with any issues. They'll help you set up the bot, help you launch it, and, of course, get started working with it. Look, we already have 50% of the deposit, which is almost $700. So, I can open the next trade for $970 and I won't be risking anything. I'll still end up in profit. Yes, right now I'm really risking all the time I've spent growing my deposit, but still, with the bot, I can be that confident. Even if I lose 70% of my deposit right now, I can still recover it in just a few trades. Sure, maybe not as quickly, maybe not as risky, but it's totally doable, since the bot stats show about 85% winning trades. Once again, the link to it is in the description and pinned comment. I'm choosing the Euro to Swiss franc currency pair. And by the way, I'm going to skip this kind of signal, because here the entry point is 65%, that's a really low percentage, and the volatility here is 1, so we'll skip this pair. But the Australian dollar to Canadian dollar looks pretty good. So what do? I go to the booster bot and get a signal for this currency pair for 1 minute. By the way, the bot doesn't even recommend opening a trade right now, since our probability of a successful entry is between 40 and 51%, so it's better to skip this trade as well, and the bot will warn you about this. But the US dollar to Canadian dollar, the neighboring currency pair, looks pretty good. So what do? We get a signal for this currency pair. And at the same time, let's show what the OTC market actually is. By the way, I'm getting an excellent sell signal. I'm opening my sell trade right away. Yeah, as you can see, sometimes there are signals that we just skip. Sometimes the market behaves really badly, but the bot will always warn you about it. So, the OTC market is over-the-counter trading. That means our quotes are tied only to the platform. For example, right now on the pocket option platform, traders are trading with each other. Accordingly, we taught the bot to read volumes on this platform, taught it to recognize patterns that are unique to this platform, since different platforms have different patterns, different volumes, and different players. Some are more aggressive, while others are more patient. But when the regular market is open, all the platforms are connected, and the quotes are the same for everyone. Yes, they differ by a few points, but that's simply due to delays, because of the internet, roughly speaking. So, inter-exchange trading isn't a bad thing. It's actually good. It's an opportunity to trade on weekends. But you need to understand that we don't have the same connection to the regular market, and, for example, analysis on TradingView won't work for us. By the way, take a look. I'm already making $890 from this trade, and I suggest we open the next and final trade for $1,600 to see what happens. Let's choose the currency pair, British pound and US dollar. Let's select it in the booster bot and set the trade time to 1 minute. I have a feeling the volatility here is going to be good. Yeah, the volatility really is good, but the percentages aren't that high. But let's trust the booster bot anyway, if it's not warning us that the trade is bad. Still, the reversal percentages are low here, the volatility is high, and, well, the confident entry percentages aren't that high either. Yeah, my entry wasn't that great, but let's watch how this trade plays out. Yeah, as you can see, there's a strong impulse. So even with a bad entry point, you can still make a profit. That's why, if the booster bot isn't signaling you, again, you can take a closer look yourself, skip that signal, and nothing bad will happen. But honestly, sometimes it's better to make decisions on your own. $1,400, and as you can see, I've managed to grow my deposit more than tenfold, even 12 times. So if you want to do the same, if you want to trade on OTC, then follow the link in the description, activate this robot, and start earning with it. If you have any questions left, just write to our support account. The team there will help you out. Anyway, I'm leaving all the links in the description. As you can see, the bot works great on the OTC market, and it's really a good tool for making money on weekends or whenever the markets are closed. That's where I'll say goodbye for now. I wish you a great day, and see you soon.